Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at the Productivity 1000 series PLC, monitoring and testing the program. Now the Productivity Suite software provides tools for us to monitor and test our programs. Last time we used tag names and details, tasks names and descriptions, run comments and instruction comments to document our first program and transfer this to our connected Productivity 1000 series PLC. We will be monitoring our ladder using the ladder editor window and displaying the information two different ways. And we'll also be looking at our data view, which is a powerful tool to help us to test and view our program. And through that we will be forcing the I/O, toggling the I/O view, and graphing our tags to test our PLC logic circuit. Now let's get started. What you'll see is I'm currently connected to my PLC, my Productivity 1000 series, through my USB port located right here. We could also connect through our built-in USB port as well for programming. And up on my screen here, what you'll see is that I know I'm connected. Here's my CPU right here. And currently right now I am monitoring my start-stop circuit that we created last time with our documentation. So that's why the monitor icon is up there. And if I turn it off, it looks like that. Turn it on, it looks like this. So the 0 represents it's off, 1 represents it's on. You'll see that my color of my contacts, when they are red, they are off, and when they are green, the logic is on. And so currently right now my motor's off. If I were to just turn it on, you'll see my contact itself turns green, as long as my inputs as well. If I turn that input off, it then turns red or 0, but my motor still remains on with the 1 and the green on there until I turn it off. So you'll see that if I'm working on my desktop, which I am right now, it's very easy to see this transition. However, if I'm in the field and I'm trying to look at it from a view or a distance, I won't be able to really see that. So desktop applications are great. If I'm working on my laptop, I'm at the field, I'm looking at all my sensors trying to figure out what's on and off. This becomes a little problem. So what I can do is in the tools and under options, and we go to ladder, the Productivity Suite software provides a different way of actually viewing and just monitoring your contacts and coils, and it put it as a block fill. So we'll put that on for block fill. At the same time, our ladder editor, it's a lot easier when we have our run comment showing and our tag details. I like to see that as well, so that I know exactly what that block of code is going to be doing. And we'll just hit apply. We'll hit OK. When you do, what you'll notice now is my stop is now a complete green block. So from a distance I can still see that if I was in the field. Now let's turn that back on again, and you'll see again everything highlights in a block now of green. Turn the start off and you will notice that the motor still stays on, and then we can turn that motor off by hitting the stop and return that to normal. So that is a nice way of displaying. You can also see that now I have my address locations shown up here. That's my tag details and my run comment that showed up. So again, it doesn't add a lot of space, but it gives me a lot more detail of what I'm looking at. Now the next thing we'd like to do is take a look at the data view. Now data view is a very powerful part of the Productivity Suite software. In order to call up data view, if you look under application tools, you will see under monitor and debug, you'll see the data view tab. We can click on it. We can also go to tools and you can go to data view, or you'll see the quick link there, which is Control-Shift F3. That will also call that up. Let's just call it the data view, and the first thing you'll notice is that it calls up automatically the Forcible tags that we have indicated through our tag database, and this will automatically show all those Forcible tags that we can do. So here's our tag name itself. We'll have a Modbus address if we want to be able to communicate to this, and that's done through the tag database as well. We have a value. Now this value is either going to be on or off, or in this case here, checked or unchecked. We have an edit. When we click the edit, it means that we want to do the opposite of what this value is in the previous column. And then we have a force. A force will turn on the contact input or output regardless of what anything else in the logic is actually saying. Then we have the type of database, and these are the ones of discrete output, and the next one's a discrete input. So if we look at the motor and we were to hit edit, you'll notice that we have a red square around here, and what we do is just hit the send edit over. So what we're doing is we're not forcing, we're just changing the status of that, and when we do, the output now comes on. And if we were to change that edit again, okay, and this time turn it off, and again we send our edit, it turns it off. If we look at our start will force it, and what you'll notice is that when we force it, we have a little lock symbol next to it, and up on our ladder we also have that same lock symbol. If we hit edit and then hit send, it turns it on, and again that lock symbol indicates that it's forced on. So then when we hit edit again and then hit send, it turns it off. Again, it's a forced off, so no matter what I do with this switch, when I turn it on, it's still going to be forced off. As you can see here, my switch is on, and my indication light here saying that it's wired, it's on. However, my logic here is keeping it forced off until I then release my force, and when I do, then I have to write that, and you will notice now that my if I try to write it without a force, he'll still keep it on. So we'll turn that one off. So we're back to our normal ladder. One way also, if we were to close this down now, what we can do is we can highlight the entire rung and right click on that rung. When we do, we can go down here and it'll say monitor in data view. In order to do that, so then what I have to do is it'll come up with a window for us, and it'll say create a new tab, and it gives me the default tab, or we can go to append to an existing tab, so we can do multiple ones. So if I want to see additional rungs in that same tab, so once we hit, we'll just create a new one. We'll hit OK, and now when we go back to our data view, you will see our start-stop motor and the rungs. So here's my 3 contacts automatically put in for me. So very nice feature of this software. We can highlight several rungs and just say monitor this all in data view. The next thing we can do is actually look at the toggle I/O. Now toggle I/O, what it will do, and we will just it will actually show our system. So here's our system right here. We have an output relay, we have 16, we have a inputs outputs, or a combination, and then we have our input simulator. So what you'll see is that right now our input simulator, we can turn things on, and you'll see that we have the I/O actually showing what's on and what's off. So when we first commission our unit, we can actually do that. On our output side, again, we can turn things on and off through this I/O view. So very nice feature of the software as we troubleshoot and look at our control. So graphical representation of actually what we have on our PLC panel. So we can turn that toggle I/O off, and we'll look at the graph. Now on the graph here, what you'll see is we can add some tag names and we can actually graph the on-off of our digital I/O. So what we'll do is we'll look at our tags. This is my motor. We'll turn this, or we'll grab a hold of that and put it on here. I start. I stop. My motor. Okay. So now I have the 3 tags on here, and what we will do is just take a look at what's happening here. So we have an auto scaling on. So as time progresses, it's monitoring my inputs and outputs. Okay. So right now I just turned on the start and also the motor, and so you see my motor jumped on. And if I hit stop, my motor then came off. It's easy to see the motor because it's in red there, and you can see the other switches, and I can change these colors of the switches. I can do a lot of different things. So monitoring those digital I/Os is a great feature. We can actually see the timing charts now of the I/O as we go through. We could also do analog or any other variables that we see fit. Okay. So the Productivity Suite software is very useful, and it's all available free of charge to download. Okay. Now all the links and documentation can be found on our website at accautomation.ca. If you like this video and like to see more, there are 3 ways in which you can help us out. You can give us a thumbs up so other people can find this information just as you have. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the end of the video. You can also go to accautomation.ca and subscribe to our website. When you do, notification will be given to you every time we publish new content to the site. You'll also get 2 free ebooks on numbering systems and robust data logging. And the last thing to do to help us out is to tell a friend or colleague about the site. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.